And for my old friend from Stanley Darn from Clay County, Kentucky.
So this was in
I go up there about once a year.
But this is Hamilton, Ohio. Why talk about Kentucky?
Well, they're old tucks.
What's that mean?
That means those people left because of peculiar circumstances, I guess, in the hill country.
And wound up in Hamilton.
Wound up in Hamilton, and they're numerous up there.
But they want to lose their heritage of Kentucky.
No, they want to keep their Kentucky heritage, and they've done it right well.
What do you talk about? What was your speech about?
Well, the state of the country.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
I've been speaking with respect to, you know, and I ran for governor in 1935, and I told the people I made 896 speeches, and some smart aleck said I made one 896 times. And he might have been nearer right, but I spoke of Mr. Churchill and General MacArthur and Mr. Nixon, and my association with those people, especially during and after the Second World War. Mm-hmm. I was in the United States Senate during the Second World War.
Yeah, I remember that very well.
And was a member of the Military Affairs Committee, and was one of the 5 senators designated by the Senate to visit the world battlefronts. And I was in New Guinea with MacArthur, and I was in London with Mr. Churchill, and I've had an unusual opportunity, Bob, to associate with the fellows who made the maximum contributions to our success in the Second World War.
Governor, how do you feel we are today? I mean, is the defense enough? Is the president right in wanting more?
The president is right, and I feel saddened by the fact that a great many of these fellows who do television, not you, and who, as soon as the president suggests something for the good of the country, within minutes they go on the television and tell you why it can't be done. Mm-hmm. And of course they're experts, and a fellow that's an expert's a fellow away from home. The further away from home he is, the more expert he is. We have a ticklish situation. We're in China, of course, because of Mr. Nixon. And General Chan, the last time I was in China, General Chan told me that nothing would suit him better than to lead an army across Russia. The Chinese have 1,300,000,000 people, and the Russians have about 240 million. The Russians keep 35 or 40 divisions along the Chinese border because of their fear of the Chinese. I'm persuaded, I saw Mr. Kissinger the other day and talked with him again. And of course it's my judgment and my firm belief that Mr. Kissinger and Mr. Nixon handled our foreign affairs better than anybody in my lifetime. Now, the saying is, Qui facit per alium facit per se. That's what a fellow does through another, he does himself, and Mr. Kissinger was his Secretary of State. The Russians don't fear us, and the whole country stopped fearing us when Truman fired MacArthur. We lost face, and of course MacArthur was an outstanding military genius that we produced in my lifetime, and I think maybe in the life of the country. He occupied Japan in 6 months with 200,000 troops, as he said he would, and he made God come to see him. Now, the Japanese emperor was God, and he destroyed the idea that they had that he was God. He's not God anymore. He's still living. Hirohito's still living. But MacArthur made God come to see him. And I always go by the record. Opinions die, but records live. Mm-hmm. And MacArthur was the #1 member of his class at West Point. He was the first member of his class to be a brigadier general, and they all try hard for that. He was the youngest superintendent of the military academy that we've had in the history of this country. Pershing gave him the highest military decoration on the field of battle when he was leading the Rainbow Division in World War I. And of course, all of you know now of his the tremendous job that he did in occupying Japan after the war. And of course the firing of MacArthur by Truman was, I've always said, an egregious error because we lost face with the people in Asia, and over there when you lose face you're supposed to kill yourself. That's the only alternative. We never have regained the good feeling and the good opinion that the people had of us after the firing of MacArthur.
A lot of your people watching you right now are confused because you're a Democrat. You
Yeah.
have sat here and told me how much you thought that Nixon contributed to foreign affairs, and Reagan is doing an outstanding job now, and rapping Truman, who was a Democrat.
I'm not rapping Truman. I'm just saying that he made an egregious error. That's a whopper.
That's a dandy. That is a dandy.
And I always have said that if public officials could pay for their mistakes, it'd be all right, but the people have to pay for them.
Oh, think about that.
Bob, the president, is trying his best to keep them from having a communist country down here in Central America, and I don't know what the people are thinking about. The Congress makes serious errors. Prior to the World War I, the House came within one vote of invalidating the draft, and 2 months later the war came on. Suppose that had happened.
We'd be in Germany right now.
Oh, we probably would. And this thing about letting them mount communist governments in Honduras and in Nicaragua, and they already got one in Cuba, of course, and that's too close. And talk about missiles, nobody wants a nuclear war. And of course, this foolish thing about they had the president, I don't like for them to be unjust to the president. In other words, the Rathers and the Donaldsons, who are smart addicts. I wouldn't listen to them because all they do is holler at the president when he doesn't respond promptly. That's rude and crude and ignorant. And they expect you to believe those fellas.
You're talking Dan Rather of 60 Minutes fame.
Yes, sir.
CBS News.
And the other fellow, Donaldson, that I turn them off. I don't have to listen to them. You know, it's not required. So, but they talk foolish, and they try to make it believe now, for example, that the president's against Social Security. Why, that's like being against motherhood and the flag, you know.
No way. Right?
No president of the United States would be against Social Security.
The reason I brought that up about Democrat, Republican, you always had the reputation of being a man for the people, and you called it as you saw it without regard of which way it would fall.
I have to, Bob. When my people ask me, and they do, I've just finished a political campaign, and I don't want to talk about it, but it was a great success.
In Kentucky?
We haven't had a woman governor since 1792, and that's our fault, and we're going to have another one this time. Young Ms. Collins will be elected governor of Kentucky, or I'll miss my prediction. And but you've got to. When the people ask me about a fellow that's going to be a public official, and I know about him, and I know he's no damn good, I'm not going to tell him he's good. Because I don't want anything to happen to them. You understand? Yeah, I'm obligated to them.
The thing about it, too, Governor, is that you're going to be 85 next month, and you're at the position in life where they know you're not trying to run again.
I don't want anything. I want to continue to have, if I can. And I started out to earn that, the respect of the respectable people of my Commonwealth. I started out, and your uncle helped me. He was my floor leader now, bless his heart. And he's standing on the ramparts of Valhalla and knows you and knows we're together and observing this scene and approving. I called him Little Indian, and he was a good one. But I feel a high obligation, and when I'm asked by the people to tell me about a fella, I don't look at him as a Democrat or Republican. I look at him as a man that's going to serve the people if they give him an opportunity. And if I don't think, it reminds me of old Senator Hallam, who ran for re-election in South Carolina. In the primary, they said to him, Senator, we have the opinion that you're going to get beat, and when you do, you're going to bolt. Well, he said, I resent that. He said, I resent anybody's suggestion that I would bolt my ticket. I'd support the nominee of the Democratic Party if he were a yellow dog. Well, he lost the primary and he bolted. And in the final election, they said, Senator, didn't you say on a certain occasion you'd support the nominee of the Democratic Party if he were a yellow dog? And he said, that I did, but he said, lower than that, by God, you're not going to take me.
We'll be right back and meet Warren Spahn from baseball. Don't go away. The color barrier in baseball when he forced the issue that allowed Jackie Robinson to play, who went on to become a Hall of Famer. If you notice the governor's sporting a ring right here, he is also in baseball's Hall of Fame. Would you welcome a fellow Hall of Famer, one of the greatest left-handers of all time, ladies and gentlemen, Warren Spahn. Warren, you're sporting your Hall of Fame ring on the other hand, I see right there.
Oh, yeah, and I'm very proud of it. I wear two. I have our World Championship ring that I wear and the Hall of Fame ring.
You saw Johnny Bench earlier on today's program retire. Do you remember the day you announced yours?
I didn't announce mine. I was fired.
Were you really, Warren?
Really. I spent my last year with the New York Mets, or half of it, and they made a youth movement in the middle of the year, and I was out of baseball. And as a matter of fact, I did a game with Howard Cosell for ABC, and I was thinking about going into television.
You got a good voice.
Well, I don't know about that, bad face. But Howard sort of wanted me to come with the network, and I said, well, if I can get a job in baseball, I'm going to continue. And I signed with the San Francisco Giants. And at the end of the year, I was having a pretty tough time with my knees, so I decided to give it up the next year. But everybody else retired. I was fired.
What a great career you had, though, with Boston and Milwaukee in those years. Do you remember when Governor Chandler was...
Of course I do.
Were you playing then?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, I was a player representative at that time. And we didn't have someone represent us, but we represented ourselves. And Happy was the commissioner, and the advent of television money first came in, and our pension plan was financed by radio of the All-Star Game in the World Series, that the players actually gave their portion of it to our pension. And Happy and the owners made an agreement, apparently, in a meeting, but somehow the minutes of the meeting got lost, and we as the players insisted on getting some of that television money for our pension, or it wouldn't have existed. It would have gone down the drain. And I remember dear old Happy coming and say, hey guys, stick by your guns. You deserve it, and you're entitled to it. And you know, we thought, the player representatives, we thought we were going to get ostracized, that hey, we might lose our jobs because we took such a protest to the owners and insisted on getting part of that money. And this gentleman right here is responsible for the players' pension plan that they have today.
So you young guys playing ball, here's the man you thank. Happy Chandler. Warren, last year, I met you for the first time, and I must tell you, I'm a big fan of baseball, and I loved to watch you pitch, even though you were on the other side when you came here to Cincinnati. But it was a great thrill to watch you play ball. And last year, when it rained in Washington, and I got to go back into that locker room with all those players, former players, it was like a childhood dream come true. And it was good to find out so many nice men had played the game of baseball.
You bet.
How did you feel meeting some of your former rivals and teammates at that time?
Well, you know, the Cracker Jack Old Timers Classic is like a 3-day outing that we have an opportunity to see each other, and a lot of us haven't seen each other since we played against each other or with. And just like what Milwaukee called old Glamikikite, that friendships were renewed regardless of how much you fought a guy on the field. You just were close to those people because we earned our living the same way. And you know, the atmosphere was great. I'm still thrilled when I'm with Joe DiMaggio, Ted Williams, and when I was a kid growing up, I idolized guys that I never saw play. And when I got an opportunity to play baseball, for an example, I roomed with Paul Wainer, you know, one of the great names of baseball. And I sometimes have to pinch myself to realize that all those great things happened to me, and all the fine people that are executives in baseball and whatever. So that's the feeling. And Mr. Forstall, who is the president of Borden, told me a story recently that he is a baseball nut. Maybe that's why Cracker Jack and our game is associated. But at any rate, he wanted to talk with Joe DiMaggio. And he sat next to Joe, and he was telling me that he said, I had so many questions I wanted to ask Joe. He said, but I lost my voice. I was so excited.
This year, the game is July 18th. It's in Washington, D.C. Tickets are already being sold between the American and National League Old Timers, sponsored by the Borden Corporation and Cracker Jacks, and you can go if you like. It's a night game in Washington, and it's professional baseball back in the capital of the nation, and it happens July 18th. If you can make it there, I'm going back for a second dip myself, and it's one of the biggest thrills you'll ever have. Only thing I want to point out to him before we go to commercial, it was Warren Spahn who threw the ball to an 83-year-old man. 75-year-old man, and the old man batted it out of the ballpark for a home run. We'll be right back. Don't go away. And Warren Spahn, a Hall of Famer from baseball. On our next program, you'll meet Norm from A.B. Happy Chandler and Warren Spahn, Hall of Famer, one of the great left-handers of all time. Plus, for you Buckeyes, we're going to talk a little bit about that tax increase. We have a gentleman on this half-hour's program who is now forming some kind of a committee. Getting rid of that too, weren't you?
We repealed it, yes, sir.
You certainly did, and it's an example of tax can be repealed and reduced if people really want to, right, Governor?
That's right.
Good. Well, this lady taught school back in those days, and we have another couple here. How long you and that doll baby you're married to been married, Governor?
58 years.
One of those little short-time romances,
58 years.
58 years. I'd like you to meet this couple in our front row on this side of the studio because today they are here celebrating their 50th anniversary. What's your name, sir?
Charles Snyder.
And you are?
Blanche Snyder.
Charles and Blanche Snyder on 50 years of marriage. Congratulations to you.
Yesterday, and what a lousy day yesterday was.
Now, wait a minute. Did you hear that? She said, it seems like yesterday what a lousy day yesterday was. Here I'm trying to bring some happiness. And
We are happy.
I know. I want to show you. Look at these young people back here. They are using you for an example. And are you a married lady? How long?
8 years.
What kind of day was yesterday for you?
It was beautiful.
How were the 8 years?
Great.
You must be home watching.
VCR's on.
What's your name?
Peggy Lehman.
You mean he is going to watch when he gets home tonight on videotape?
Yes.
Why don't you look in there and tell him just right over there he is, right over there. What's his name?
Doug.
Well, tell Doug that they want to say hello. I hope
Hi,
you,
Doug.
You think yours will last 50 years?
I sure hope so.
I hope ours does too. It takes that long to get the house paid off. I tell you that. Warren, in this baseball game, we brought it up before. You pitched, and they have someone different pitch each inning, and all the players get a chance to perform.
Right.
Luke Appling was the man's name, 75 years young. Can we relive that year, that day?
Can we?
Yes, right now, 1982, Washington, D.C., the first Cracker Jack Old Timers ball game. Warren Spahn is on the mound, and let's take a look right now.
They are the past of our national pastime. Boys of summer who have moved to the fall and beyond. But most were stars once, big stars.
The Yankee Clipper, number 5, Joe DiMaggio.
Who stole bases by the bucketful.
Lou Brock.
Who pitched 2 consecutive no-hitters.
From the Reds, number 33, Johnny Vandermeer.
Like Pee Wee Reese, they don't run as well as they once did. Like Robin Roberts, they don't see as well as they once did. And like Al Rosen, they don't play as well as they once did. But no one has dimmed the competitive fires.
Stan, the man, Musial.
The stance, unforgettable, and he got a hit with it. Not majestic, perhaps, but a hit.
Number 44, Hank Aaron.
755 lifetime home runs, and he's no slouch in the outfield either. But the event of the night was probably provided by 75-year-old Hall of Famer Luke Appling, 75 years old, hitting against Warren Spahn.
That was a tough breaking pitch, about knee-high. Low outside. Low outside. No, it was, he just laid the ball right up there about 11 high, and I accidentally hit it.
It took Appling 33 seconds to circle the bases. It's incidental, perhaps, but the American League won 7-2. That's Bob Feller striking out Willie McCovey. They've all thinned on top, spread in the middle, and slowed to a snail's pace. But with a bit of imagination, you can still see their youth, and your own as well.
We'll be right back. Don't forget, July 18th is this year's Cracker Jack Hall of Fame game. Don't go away. You think you could honor us today?
I can try.
All righty. While the governor's getting ready, we'll pause for the news update. Take you to the WLWT newsroom. Here's Ann Reskin.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. There I am. Good afternoon. As we all know by now, Johnny Bench is retiring as an active player with the Cincinnati Reds at the end of this season. Johnny says he has no set plans at this time, but is considering several alternatives.
And I look forward to seeing you in Washington on July 18th.
Bob, always enjoyed being with you.
You get people from all over the country who come to that game, don't you?
We have ticket requests from 22 states of the United States so far. I don't know the exact count of tickets sold, but it's ahead of last year. And I'd like to invite people from the Ohio area, you know, get a busload of people, have fun going to the game, enjoy the game, and have an outing with it. And I know you'd love the ball game.
If you're interested in why Warren Spahn looks so healthy, by the way, he is a farmer. He spends a lot of time on his tractor.
A lot of time in the golf course, Bob.
Oh, come on, Warren, play along with me. He is, though, a farmer. You have a real treat for you right now, ladies and gentlemen, as I thank Warren Spahn and Governor A.B. Happy Chandler. He's going to sing for you something that's near and dear to his heart, because one thing Governor Chandler is a Kentuckian, and he wants the whole world to know about his dear, sweet Kentucky home. Governor A.B. Happy Chandler.
The sun shine bright in my old Kentucky home. 'Tis summer, the people are gay. The corn tops ripe and the meadows in the bloom, while the birds make music all the day. The young folks roll on the little cabin floor, all merry, all happy and bright. By and by, hard times comes a knocking at the door. Then my old Kentucky home, good night. Weep no more, my lady. Oh, weep no more today. We will sing one song for my old Kentucky home. For my old Kentucky home, far away.
Warren Spahn and Governor A.B. Happy Chandler. Don't go away. We'll be right back to talk taxes.